Welcome, guys. Welcome to another episode of TRT. I hope you guys have been watching. I really hope you've been watching. And then if you've been watching, you will know that this is the Raven. This is a dead guy.
Top manager.
And
FPL
a
best.
guest of the house, a fan, Uche, in the building. Uche, what's up? What's good? What's happening?
Good.
I hear you're an Arsenal fan. And I hear...
Sorry, I'm sorry. I don't know why I laugh like that.
And I hear you're an Arteta fan.
Top 4 hopes. Definitely not an Arteta fan.
But you think the said Arteta
not
can
an
get you
Arteta
top
fan.
4?
No, I'm not. Yeah.
But the Arteta you don't like can get you top 4.
I trust my players, man.
All right.
Oh, you trust your players?
Not the manager.
And I hear you like your best player in Arsenal is Xhaka, from what I gathered.
Definitely.
Xhaka is your best player?
Definitely.
Why? I mean, why? Like, what's up? Why? Why do you think so?
He epitomizes everything about what Arsenal really is, right? He's tough as nails. He's there to do a job. He goes about his business. If he makes mistakes,
Costly.
whether they are costly or not, whether they are costly or not, every single player makes mistakes. Whether they are costly or not, he dusts himself down, and the next day he's at it again. He's one of our better players, if not the best.
Yeah, technically it's good.
Technically,
I'll say that.
when it comes to a range of skill sets and character that is required, there are not many on that team that are better than he is today.
This is shocking. Hack, do you agree?
Hack won't agree. Hack won't agree.
No.
Disclaimer: Hack won't agree.
I mean, I know 90% of Arsenal fans do not agree, so this is interesting.
I check whether Xhaka just because you're asking
wait, do you like?
okay, so in my opinion, his mistakes are costly and it's too much. So and then I have a principle, like if you don't think something is bad, you will not try to fix it, right? So if they didn't think at some point that Xhaka is not good enough, they wouldn't try to sell him. So they tried to sell him because they feel like, oh, he's not good, he's not the kind of player that they need around. And then when they failed, when they were not successful at selling him, then they began to integrate him into the team. So I don't think in that vein, I agree that he is the best player. But looking at our team now, I'm very, very sure after you call, what's the name, Ramsdale, and then you mention Saka, Martinelli, and Smith Rowe.
You mentioned all the players.
So when you mention the Tierney, then Xhaka has to be there. He has to be you can't have a balanced Arsenal team without Xhaka, because we literally don't have players there. For instance, he got a red card in one of the games where we were all shouting, "Let him go, sell him." But then after the red card, the next few games we played, at the follow-up, I feel it. I see what they are talking about, but because I am so anti-Xhaka, I don't want to, admit to. But
is this you admitting that he's right?
It's me admitting that there is a positive from Xhaka.
All of a sudden.
But then, if I weigh the positive and the negative,
but wait. Still on Xhaka, right?
Yeah.
Oh, the last game, right? They gave him the handband, right?
Yeah.
And
so that's why I'm heading.
And he refused, right? And then for someone that you said every time you call upon him and he's like, no. So I don't.
But it wasn't the one. I think there was this guy.
No.
Was it the one that was?
Yeah, he was.
He
was supposed to be.
No.
captain.
The manager actually said it was.
It was someone else.
It was Tierney that was next to the line.
And they had that conversation.
Yeah, but isn't it always him that wears the captain?
No,
and
but I
band
think
when-
they had the conversation before the game, and Shaka knew he wasn't the one, so he said.
Yeah, that's
he didn't
what
have
the
a problem having
that's what the
band,
manager
yeah.
came up with at the end. of
So
the
it's been so that responsibility has been taken away from, because I know a couple of Arsenal games I've seen Xhaka with the armband after. Aubameyang
so me, I
comes
want to
out,
ask
right
that.
after
I think for that
So
game,
now
Tierney was the-
so now he's in the team. So how do you say something like, Henderson is in the team for instance, and then all of a sudden, for that game, he's no more the vice. Like, he doesn't work that way though. Like there's always a captain and vice captain, right? And then you can't when the captain leaves. Yeah, you give it to the vice captain. So you can't come and say you can't come and
it's not. Who? So since Oba left, there's been a change.
No, but prior to Oba leaving, he was the vice captain.
Oba. Yeah. No, he was not vice captain. But I think he was in the leadership group.
Yeah.
Right? He was in the leadership group. And in fact, that episode for me is a pointer to what I just said. It didn't make sense to Eddie Nketiah for any other person to get that ban than Granit Xhaka. That is the piece in there, right?
That's what you want to take.
No, but that's the piece in there. That means, and that's what a lot of people have said. Xhaka is the captain whether he wears the band or not, right? Because he carries himself like the captain. He's the one who is willing to do the extra bit, right? Xhaka is the first person to slot into central defense if there's a hole. For example, a red card, right? Or he's the first person to think, I need to cover the left back if he's too far up the field, right?
Take a man out.
It's been proven time and time again that he's a leader in that team, right? Probably the one with the most leadership qualities. Don't forget, he's still Swiss captain. He's captain of the Switzerland national team. Yeah. There's a lot of leadership qualities in there about him. He doesn't need the armband, right, to be a leader for the team. And that's why a lot of us see it and say, you can abuse him, you can say he makes mistakes, but there's a little more than just a mistake or two, right? To just turn on the guy and say he's not good enough when there are not many better in the team. Partey is in that team. Partey is probably one of the oldest in the team. But you see with Xhaka in and around him, Partey plays better. There's a bit more control around that midfield, right? I think it was the City game where the one time he was not in the periphery of that position right in front of the goalkeeper was when City got their goal, when Rodri stepped in.
I was going to say here, when we're talking about Maguire here, that Maguire, like when you were saying they should drop Maguire, and then, like you're saying that they can't drop him because he's the captain. And I'm like, it's basically the same thing at Arsenal, because Arsenal fans outside feels like Xhaka is not qualified to be the captain of the club. However, the people inside, the players and the managers, times without number, will tell you that Xhaka is the leader of the team. Of course, like you can only sit outside and argue that he's not good enough and all of that, but then you cannot argue with the person that trains with this this particular player always. I think it's the same thing basically for Maguire, because it's a scapegoat in every team, and then once things are not going the way, so everybody's pointing at the scapegoat. So for me, I have made up my mind on Xhaka a long time ago that thank you, sir, then time to move ahead. However, when we watch Euro here, like we discussed, and then he was really good. And then I think there was after a game, France, I said here, after France, I said here that I don't think it's possible that Xhaka is not the problem at Arsenal, and then it is our team, the way we're set up. That is why we feel like Xhaka is always exposed to making these tackles and then getting the cards.
What exactly is your beef with Arteta? I mean, we watched the game on Saturday. It was on Saturday, right?
Yeah. And no, did we play on Saturday? Yeah, we played.
Yeah, and those boys were playing.
I've forgotten we played on Saturday.
and those boys were playing very good football. There was connection between. You don't think they were playing good football? There was connection from that. I watched the game.
I know what you mean.
There was connection.
Sustained good football, but he had
there was connection. There was very good connection from nice transition from defense. Things have been put in place since the manager came in, though. I mean, the problem you guys had was Edu, not necessarily the manager in terms of the signing.
Nah, you can't isolate Edu as a problem. It's
no, if the manager like Ahak was saying last week, the manager wants a player. No, I'm getting to it. So if the manager wants a player and the director who is in charge of getting this cannot secure that, what do you want the manager to do? His job is not to get those players. His job is to go, I want these players, bring me these players. If they don't bring those players to him, what is he going to do though? Because with the resources that he's got, right, the players that he's got, are you saying that he's not managing them effectively? Do you think a different manager will come in right now with those same crop of players and do better?
When you say the resources he's got,
Yeah, the players that he's got.
every player at Arsenal Football Club is a player that Arteta wants.
Right now.
Yeah, every player at Arsenal
You
Football
think he has
Club.
been able to build a squad to
This is his squad.
They don't even,
every
they don't even have it. You guys are not deep based on squad depth, right? Because some players have left and then some players are not coming. So players not coming in is not Arteta's fault.
No,
though.
but no, the reason for that is the
Edu's
manager.
fault.
No.
How
The
is that
reason,
the manager's
the reason for that is the manager.
How?
So we actually had a bigger squad, right? Going into the general transfer window than we have today, right? A couple of those players are out, either on loan, mostly on loan, but some, will not be returning to the club, right? That's the decision of the manager, not the director of football.
Yeah. So, but wait, read me this. Before the manager can make such a decision, he goes to the director and says, "Okay, see, guy, I want to sell this guy, and then I want you to bring in this guy, and then the director goes, okay, yeah, cool, fine, that's a fantastic plan. So let's go ahead and sell. These days, we know that during the transfer window, it's easier to sell the players that you want than it is to get the players that you want. So they went ahead, sold those players in the hopes that they will get the players that they want. So them getting the players that they want is not the manager's problem, is the director of football's problem.
Even Pep didn't get the player he wanted in the summer.
Yeah, but they
he has
didn't
to play.
They didn't let go. So that's what I'm saying. So you can tell that the problem was not necessarily lies with him, because at City, right, before they would necessarily sell a player, they've already bought. It's not Pep that is buying the players. Pep says, I want to get this player, right? Pep wanted Ronaldo, but he didn't get it, right? But he made other plans, right? Pep says, I want these players. The guys, the directors in charge say, okay, no problem. We're selling these players. But before they sell those players, so that's their own. So it's not. That's not a Pep thing. Pep's job is on the pitch. So my question is: at this point in time, on the pitch, are they playing good football with the players that you've got or not? I really want to understand you guys' problem with Arteta.
Yeah, double. The truth is, and I will say it anytime. The team we have today is Arteta's team.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
There have been 2 windows, most recently, where he's had the chance to get in his players and get out the players he wanted, or get out the players he should have gotten out, right? Case, for instance, Maitland-Niles, everybody knew in the summer he wanted to go, right? Arteta kept him, convinced him to stay. But he then didn't play him for more than 5 to 6 games. And then in January, you let him go on loan. And then you come back and say, oh, we might not have a full complement of 25, right? Arteta bought Mari. Pablo Mari was an Arteta signing. Pablo Mari started the first 2-3 games this season. He dropped a stinker in probably in those 3 games, right? How you drop a stinker so bad in 3 games that the manager will never want to play you again, I don't understand it. But he dropped a stinker in those 3 games before the summer window closed, right? And he didn't play him again. So he knew he was going to let him go in January. Pablo Mari left in January. He didn't replace him. You can't come back and tell me, oh, he doesn't have too many defenders, or doesn't have enough defenders, right? You had an issue with Aubameyang in December. You knew you were not going to play him anymore. You probably had taken that decision, at the point where the rest of us knew that Aubameyang was not playing in the team again. It can't be anything other than Arteta knew he was not going to play Aubameyang again. And you didn't do the needful. You didn't even do the needful. No, you can't tell me we're actively.
You're active in the market, and then like we said, it wasn't him active
in
the market.
Oh no, double it. Now this is the
Edu
thing,
though, right?
Now, this is the thing. There's no football transfer, right? At top level professional football, that happens when you make the call to a club and say, I want to buy this player. No, there's a process that goes on, right? There's a lot of back and forths, right? Between buying club and camp of intended player, right?
Yeah, the player as well.
There's conversations between buying club and potential selling club, right? There will be fillers as to if this transfer will happen or it won't happen.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Even where there's a release clause. In fact, that's one of the reasons why Atletico are so mad at us, because there was a conversation for Partey up to a certain point. This guy has a release clause. It's clear. This is what you need to pay if you want this player. There's a conversation. Arsenal ended that conversation and kept mute till the end of the window and then triggers the release clause. So you see, there's no transfer that means I'm just going to call Vlahovic's agent. They knew they could get him.
So
they knew they would either get him
or
or
Edu. That's what I'm saying.
It is a combination of the
get,
manager.
like,
It's a combination of the man. Let me tell you the
When we
truth.
sit down here and when we're attacking Ole, right? We also said Woodward was the person that goes to get us these players, and it was never a question of Ole what was going like as far as Arsenal's transfer was concerned. I know that yes, probably Arteta might have been slow in whatever decision with his players, right? But then I always feel a huge part of this sale or not sell is based off of is largely a decision of a function of the director for the person.
Oh, don't forget, every club has their own structure to doing things, right?
Yeah.
And at Arsenal, the manager and the technical director, we've been told severally by the club ownership that these guys are a partnership, that they work in tandem.
The manager or the
manager and the technical director
Arteta has way more power than
in
any
fact,
Premier League
Arteta
manager.
is said to have more of a say with even transfers than the technical director, right? And that can be different from another team, even in City. Each club has their own structure, right? I feel it's very lazy to always layer the failings, right, of the club on the technical director and manager from it.
Okay, before you guys came, one of the conversation we had was this, like there's how you start here now, you just said, buying players technically is not Arteta's job, it's Edu's, so it was the same thing we're talking about, because in cases where we get players, nobody remembers Edu. Is Arteta is doing it, he's doing. But in cases when we don't get these players, it comes back to Edu. Like we're like, Edu know they're doing work. We know that Edu is not, the right guy to take us forward, right?
Including the manager.
Yeah,
they're both novices. They're both novices at this level, right? They've done well. They've done well for their capacity. Yes, they've done well for the capacity that they came in with. And you asked this question at the beginning, I don't think this is the manager this club needs at this point, right? Because we're at the point where when the club is in the balance, right? So you either decide if you want to continue to be a top club in England, right, and in Europe, or you go on this perceived rebuild, right, and take your time over the next 5, 6, 7 years to come back to compete with the so-called big boys.
That's what's happening now.
So I think there are better managers we can get to do a rebuild, and I also think there are better managers we can get if we want to get back to playing with the big boys. That's all it is for me. I'm not saying Arteta is not a good manager. It could be. But at the point where the club is today...
Who at this point in time, who would you, before we move on, who would you rather have in place of him?
I love Ten Hag.
Everybody loves Ten Hag.
Yeah, I love Ten Hag.
Everybody loves Ten Hag.
That's above your pay grade.
No, he's not. He's not. It can't be above our pay grade.
Everybody loves Ten Hag, but sorry,
I think
it's for Man U.
funny enough, I think the Arsenal job, if you place it alongside, say, United job, which other job is in the balance? Maybe the Pochettino job at PSG.
Well.
I think if you lay down on the table, Arsenal is the one where he can walk in and do what he wants to do, right?
Yeah, but then,
Yeah.
to be honest, I get what you mean in terms of like.
Yeah, he would
in
have
terms
more
of
control at
structure,
Arsenal,
but
and he can-
in terms of like being a progressive human being in general, it's like leaving Ajax and what you've done, and like if you're trying to move your career forward, I don't see Arsenal being.
Even with the level of talent and age that we boast of today, that's a club that fits Ten Hag.
Yeah, he just needs to do. When
It's
it
a
comes
club
to
that
Man
As
U.
against, I'm just saying,
is to get rid of.
No,
as against
it's a
the
club that
United
fits him,
where-
but realistically, he wouldn't go to Arsenal. He
No,
wouldn't.
but like I feel like even
because
United,
right now,
there are a lot of young players to
I
work
feel like
with.
one of the safest jobs in apart from maybe Pep
You just
and
get
club
rid of
is
Ronaldo.
Arteta. Arteta has a very, very safe job. Like I feel like
No,
Arsenal
Ronaldo.
fans
That's the more
need
reason
to-
why. That's the more
That's
reason
my
why you need
problem.
Ten Hag.
No, I said, no, that you can't. It's
That's
like
the-
saying
that's what-
you
you
cannot.
need, you need him in a safe environment.
No,
where
I'm
he
saying
can bring-
Arteta right now, his job is not under any threat whatsoever.
Which is a problem.
Arsenal fans need to just come
Which
to
is a
terms
problem.
with the fact that this guy is going to be here because the board is happy with him. He looks like he's doing a good job on the pitch. Yeah, whatever markers that you guys will use to point at him would be his dealings or their dealings in the next transfer window, because everybody always says, yeah, we don't really trust the January transfer window. It's always, oh, okay, he's like they say strong following. People say, oh, he's done well to weed out the dead wood in the team, and then this is something United has not been able to do for a while. Jones, Mata, some of all those guys are in the squad, and then he's been able to do that with and then come up with fresh young. So everybody's only going to judge him with this. That's the next January transfer window, because there's the summer where he will buy players, and then when he buys those players, there will be time for those players to gel.
So the issue, one of the issues I have with Arteta personally is the fact that when he came to Arsenal, and then of course maybe after a couple of months he figures, oh, this one is not good for me, so I have to buy players in place so that these ones can leave, and then they start to buy players, and then they bring in Mari. They bring in Cedric. They bring in David Luiz. They bring in Willian. They bring in this other guy, Ronaldson. And then out of these five,
Who is at the club
even
today?
start replacing the dead wood that he met, 4 is gone. You are weeding out players that you've signed. Why did you sign them?
I was asking, the year Arteta won FA Cup was not the year he signed Willian.
No.
Was it the same? Was it the year?
No.
When Willian came, we know
Luis,
Pablo Mari and Cedric came in that January transfer window.
Yeah.
Cedric didn't play.
Okay.
Right? The players who won the FA Cup were were Pepe, right? Ainsley Maitland-Niles. I'm talking about players who had huge influence in the semi-finals and the finals, right? Pepe, Oba, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Hector Bellerin, right? These guys are the deadwood that he has weeded out.
Wait, by the way, what's up with Pepe though? I said that's a record signing, right?
Yeah.
What's going on with him? I'm not with because I know he's not been performing, right?
He's not been playing.
Yeah, but he's not. He wasn't performing. That's why he's not playing.
When did he stop performing?
I think
Who are you going to drop for him though?
I think
the other guys are firing on all four cylinders. Smith Rowe, Saka, Martinelli. Like who's good? Because he doesn't. I don't see him benching those guys though. Even though he's a record signing, and I believe he's a good player. But
Sterling is on fire, isn't he?
That's you
I'm
can't
coming.
use a City
No.
model, though.
I'm coming. I use the points you throw at me, right?
Yeah.
To give you perspective. Sterling is on fire, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Jack Grealish is playing.
No, Grealish hasn't played in a minute.
I'm just
though.
saying. Grealish is playing.
Grealish hasn't played in a minute.
Oh no, he's playing. He's been playing.
No, Sterling has been the one playing, not Grealish. Grealish hasn't been
Grealish
playing.
is playing.
No, I've been watching the games.
No, he was
hasn't.
playing till he had a knock.
Yeah, he hasn't been playing.
The
I've been
reason,
watching
to
their
be
games.
honest, the reason he's not playing as much is not because they don't want to play him. Like,
Yeah.
there's some fitness issues there. But
Okay.
Ideally, he would start. I get what you're trying to say. Ideally, he would start ahead of
No,
Sterling.
I'm not even saying. I'm not even saying don't
You
start.
get
But
game
he's
time.
playing.
He's playing now.
That's the thing.
No, but Pepe
is not playing.
Pepe has been playing.
No, he's not been playing.
Not
Yeah,
this,
he's not been
not this
playing.
season, but I'm saying like he's had a lot of game time in Arsenal. He has had a lot of time to show.
To show, yeah.
Pepe
to
last
cement
season.
himself.
Yeah.
Pepe last season was our player with the most influence on goal scoring, goals and assists, more than any other player on that team.
Okay, so
So
what's
what are you
the
saying?
problem though?
You
The manager
bench,
doesn't.
so you bench
the manager
Saka.
doesn't think he fits his system, or he doesn't appreciate Pepe's skill set. So yes. Pepe was not playing, so I would expect that a player who is not playing would have confidence issues, right?
Yeah.
I would expect a player who, even when he plays and is not played in the position that you manage to get the best out of him, would also will also knock his confidence, right? And I also think that when you have a group of players who can do no wrong, you put them side by side with players who, if they make one mistake, suddenly the worst players in the world, right? You will never get the best out of this group, and you potentially always get the best out of this group. Oh, by the way, Saka stunk the place up in the first few weeks of the season as well. But the manager tarried with him and kept on playing him.
I also want to
And played him into form. Why do you spend so much money to get amazing talent, right? Who's doing it where he's playing, playing in a certain position. You bring him to a new club with so much fanfare, a lot of pressure, and you stop playing him in that position where the reason for you getting him in the first place came from. So I'm asking you, why are you playing Pepe as a winger who literally has to sit himself on the halfway line trying to help the right back? If Pepe was devastating in France, one of the best in the top 5 leagues for stats that season before you got him as a forward, why do you stop playing him there and then expect him to become... So if we go back to Pepe, he's not been playing. You've not used him, right, in the best position to get the best out of him. You can't then ask him to give you world beater numbers. Saka is doing exceptionally well. Oh, by the way, ESR is scoring goals and getting assists coming off the bench.
Yeah.
So you can... It's also about getting games, right? Yeah. For you to get numbers. So we've not seen Pepe play this season, really. We've not. He's not played enough games to even say he's played badly. I agree, he didn't play well in the first 2 games of the season. He actually missed the 3rd game.
I know how you complain about Pepe, though.
He didn't play against City.
I have tweets
So in the first 3 games of the season, he didn't even play against City, right? So he was in the team that lost.
You won't go delete. Don't.
I want to see that.
I'll find it.
So he was in the team that lost in 2 games of the first 3. How many games did Saka play in those 3? How many games did Ben White play in those 3? These are guys who are still playing today, right?
I didn't even have to go far. This is where Pepe belongs. See, this is street football.
No. Yeah, I said it because he was dribbling.
Pepe plays football, but as a comedian. I say, this Pepe, he be teased.
Yeah, but that's it.
Pepe, they play put out for my thinking football. So the measure of a good player sometimes is the team missing him? I don't think so.
No, hold on.
I don't think so because
But you guys, but Arsenal went to like the whole of January when where they didn't score any goals.
It wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have made a difference though.
Okay, it wasn't even there, Seb. Sorry, it wasn't.
Exactly. No, I was saying it the other day. You played Liverpool. You played City.
Hold on, let me
I
say
was saying it. You played Liverpool twice. You played Man City. Bossed City until the red card. I said it the other day. That was literally the first team that outplayed City this season.
I think we'll always
My problem.
And it was an Arsenal side.
We're not supposed to play
My
those
problem.
teams.
No,
Yeah,
but I'm
that's
saying
what I'm saying,
nobody plays City like that. That's literally the first team that had more possession than City in a game this season.
We lost the game.
You because of a red card. That was different because of the red card.
My problem.
Because of your guy.
My problem.
Because of your best friend.
Hold on.
No. The red card was Gabriel.
Yeah, was that okay?
My problem. Yeah. Double O. My problem. Yeah. And the sentiment.
You're lucky.
The sentiment.
I had to reload.
The sentiment I share with him is that.
Sorry, Hack. I was shocked when I actually saw that he's only got to 4.
6. Okay, for us about 6 in his career.
Yeah. So
I think it's a reputation thing.
You want buy shoe?
I think why it looks so bad is like he has like a lot of errors leading to goal as well.
Yeah.
So when people are thinking about
I
him,
think that's the problem.
that's part of what the problem
because
is.
even when you play ball and then you get a red card and then you don't lose afterwards.
Because but
Right.
I'll tell you this,
Forgive
my greatest problem with Xhaka as a footballer is like he's great, but then he loses concentration at the wrongest time. If you look at a lot of his red cards, they could have been avoided. Like tackles that like you let your man go, then you're now trying to struggle. Like, yeah, he's a great player when he's switched on, but like you can't be playing in that such a pivotal position and we're not sure whether you're switched on or not. And I think that's the danger I have with him. But when he's on his day, like you said, there are not a lot of people better than him in that position for Arsenal.
Yeah, so for me, my problem with this Bukayo and Pepe conversation is the fact that we have. I feel like as a manager, you should be able to manage
your squad.
Talents. Like,
manage your squad.
Yeah, manage your squad. So like you should know when we are safe now. This guy that I think cannot play, let him come and play 5 minutes. We are safe now, let him come and play 30 minutes. Or we are not even safe, and this guy that is playing is out of ideas. The one that is playing now is out of ideas, or are you come and try all? Because if technically, if for instance, Saka is playing a game and he is out of ideas, that means you are sure that the chances of him getting a goal is very, very slim now, right? So there is no harm in trying someone else in that position at that moment. But the problem we have now is that it's like you are out of ideas, but don't worry, play.
But before we run down through the games, right? Let's talk briefly about Man U, right? The other day I said I was saying for like the last 3 or 4 games, right, Jabo, United will be leading, right? And then every single time they go into the dressing room and they come back, all of a sudden it's like two things are happening. I don't know if they're not getting proper motivation or they are losing concentration or something. It almost feels like something is being said that feels, like we've won the game, and then the other team comes and then they start to like who said there's a player that was saying it I can't remember with the game 2 games before now they interviewed and he was like that United
is it Adams or
Armstrong? Southampton, that United are vulnerable
in the second half
after the interval, right? So what is the problem? Because that happened again I know we won the game, right? But for it to be 2 goals up, but back in the day,
No, so I mean, first of all, I feel like I don't think you can put that on.
No.
You might not necessarily put it on United players.
I'm saying if it has happened like for 4 games straight, right? Is that not a problem that the manager should
obviously
be tackling?
These guys have been playing in a way throughout Ole's reign in a way where they didn't have to cover that much ground. These players are not used to playing at that intensity for that amount of time. It's a fitness issue more than anything. If you watch all these boys, it's like the energy they've not spent this amount of energy. The energy they spend in the first half, under Ole will spend it on like under Ole where
so
the
is that a good thing or a bad thing? Are you saying that they shouldn't be? No. What I'm saying is like
as United fans, we have to accept the reality of the job at hand. These players have been doing almost nothing under Ole in terms of when I was looking at the stats under Ole in terms of running were the worst teams, tackling, everything in terms of putting yourself about on the pitch. Now is a manager that comes and he expects times 10 of all that. Do you know what I mean? So all these players is like, the
connect might not be there.
Yes, and like to be honest, like I see a difference in terms of what we're trying to do.
Obviously, right?
And I feel like with time, these players will get used to it. And it's part of what Fred was saying as well. It's in terms of people buying into it wholeheartedly as well. It's like this guy might not be here the whole of this season, so there's no need to really. The guy doesn't have any. He doesn't have anything to jerk the players into working harder for him.
But so these players know that he will still be in the background. So regardless, so he will still have some level of influence. If a new coach comes in and he says, while I was intrigued, this guy was not, but he still has. I mean, he's not going to be controlling things. So in effect, they're still kind of going to still be auditioning for him because whoever comes in, this guy is still going to be same because. That's halftime thing is a problem because if the smaller teams are seeing this as United's Achilles heel, right? Then imagine what the big teams will do when they've in fact we've even gone 1 goal down at halftime. Imagine what they'll do.
But to be honest, the Leeds game, I feel like there was a difference in terms.
No, that's like it's like
Like the Leeds game, I feel like the Leeds game, I could see like them trying to manage that better. The way we scored that goal. First of all, it's like I think what killed them in the Leeds game wasn't about like they didn't come out of the blocks as sharply as they should have.
Just that the Leeds guys
that goal,
that
goal, like they were talking about how like that was a cross.
Yeah, it was a cross.
Every day of the week, it would have
Yeah.
But I'm saying.
But then I feel like it demoralized the guys right after.
No, but what I'm saying
You know
is,
I
what
mean?
I'm saying is, with City and these other teams, right? I know that there's a fitness issue, right? But I mean, nobody's going to know that there's a fitness issue as far as the fans are concerned to start with. And then when you play fast teams like City, Liverpool, all those guys, right? If you can't cope now with these smaller guys at halftime, when you're supposed to, get, because halftime is supposed to be. Back in the day, when you go into halftime, is when Fergie tells you, okay, even if you're leading 2-0, Fergie goes and tells you, this is now where we need to switch it up. Almost like when United go into halftime, we're going from 2, when we're supposed to be entering 3, we're now coming back to 1, and then the other team just come out of the block. And then everybody's seeing it. It's like everybody's doing it. Everybody has woven that into their tactics against United. Like, okay, you know what, let's manage everything till halftime. And then another problem is when they now score us. I know that there's still a fitness issue, right? But when they score us, almost feels like, maybe with the exception of last game, almost feels like United gets a little bit dejected. I feel like when they score you, right, like City or Spurs, pick up the ball and go. You get. So I feel like it's a problem when we meet the big teams because there's a run of fixtures for United coming, Liverpool, Man City, Athletic. Like it's like. It would really make or break the season.
One thing I love here is a manager that identifies his problem and tries to fix it. So, for instance, I think this conversation initially, before we started talking about them coming out of second half and then equalizing, where the conversation was, why is it that Man United are not scoring enough goals? Like they score one goal and then they come out and they equalize. I think the period where we discussed them equalizing the goals, if Man United was leading 3-0 and then they come back from the first half and halftime and then the other team scores one goal and it ends 3-1. If it happens 4 games consecutively, you will not have a problem with it. So what I'm saying now is that I think in the last 2 games, Man United have managed to score 2 goals.
If you're more clinical.
4 goals. I think if they are able to keep up to that and then score more goals, then we might not be having this conversation of them coming out of first half.
Because I mean, you always need a 2-goal cushion.
Yeah. No,
because
but
a 1-goal cushion in the Premiership is not really elite.
No,
but 2-0 is the worst.
Yeah. But another thing, there was. I can't remember which point he was saying this. He was talking about how like when you're creating chances and you're missing chances, there's a confidence it gives your opponent. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so first of all, it's like what happens with a lot of players is like I think what has been happening in terms of us not taking chances, like first of all they're afraid to play United, so they sit back. You know what I mean? And like they see United creating a lot of chances and not scoring them. So now exactly why we now the mindset coming back to this team is like
might still be in the game.
Do you know what I mean? Why are we afraid of? Because let's be honest, it's like it was never an issue of chance creation. We're creating. My worry, I would have been more afraid if we weren't creating chances. I mean, and then Ronaldo has been very wasteful. Most of our front line has been very wasteful. The only person that seems to be a bit productive is Sancho. If you see some of the goals that we've conceded, it's like Maguire and McTominay colliding. How is your DM and your CB colliding?
So
of your box?
Is that a problem for the there's a midfield coach, right? Is that a problem for because when they teach you these things, they tell you that you have your space. Like
Scott
I have my area. You have your area. You would only come into my area if I have moved. If this guy goes ahead.
Sometimes about the defense.
No, I don't like Maguire.
I know.
I don't like
about the players. It's sometimes about the players' awareness, right?
Yes, Scotty is not.
So
Scotty.
Let me not even use Rodri.
But he seems to be a better DM than Fred. Fred seems to be better offensively.
Fred is.
So that's the only reason why I think he's playing there.
Let's look at Fernandinho, right?
Look at those guys.
Fernandinho knows. He's aware of the space to control.
Yeah, that's
right?
what I'm saying.
So in this space, I have to be king. In another space, I'm probably supporting.
Yeah, he doesn't want anybody to take initiative.
Yeah.
So, but if you watch Scotty,
Scott loses control of the middle.
And Maguire, the problem with Maguire.
So having 2 of them is chaos.
Not great.
It's a disaster.
That's
fine.
You guys need to know that even with the team, if managers are coming out or players are coming out to say, "Oh, don't worry," when they come back from first half, it's going to affect them mentally. Yeah. Like so, like when you try so hard to overcompensate for that first few minutes, and then you now start to panic, and then you know.
Anyways, let's run through last week's games. West Ham, Newcastle. I know West Ham was doing so well at the beginning of the season, right? And everybody was tipping them for even top 4. But what's going? I know Newcastle is now rejuvenated and all, but West Ham haven't exactly been. Well, it's been a while since Antonio scored the goal.
West Ham has a small squad.
It's too lean.
Yeah, I know that.
Small squad, and
they had the chance to go buy in the general, but Moyes is very stubborn.
Moyes has been stubborn. Like one of
He's
the
a
things he
very
has always said
stubborn
is
guy.
like, yo, if you're not going to come and improve the squad, and to be honest, I respect that. In as much as like he has like his downside to the squad, but then look at United.
They are playing in Europa, right?
Yeah. But I'm just saying, look at Man U for instance. It's like, bro, we had no business buying a player like Fred. We bought a player like Fred because we just want to buy a midfielder. And I see where Moyes is coming. I just don't want to buy a midfielder. I want to buy a midfielder that fits into what I'm trying to do. If that player is not available, I'd rather just keep my money.
Technically, they only have 2 positions in that team where you can say add quality in January, right? And that would have been the striker.
Yeah.
To at least help Antonio relieve.
It's not like he's going to start. They're not
he's not going to start ahead, right?
Starters.
He's going to start ahead. Then in that central, in that defensive midfield position, right? Because they literally only have Suchek and Rice.
And Suchek is even a box.
Noble is in his last days.
Noble barely plays.
The guy who they bought actually for that crowd has not picked up yet.
Yeah.
So those are the 2 positions. And like we said, if you're not buying players to start ahead of the ones.
If Bowen gets injured now, there's an issue.
And then Newcastle, it looks like things are.
No. The momentum is with them.
Now, but like, I just worry for like that the fact that this guy is out for the end of the season. To the end of the season.
Trippier.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
That their manager is trying.
But like I
it's
said,
always been a good manager.
but don't forget momentum.
Yeah.
Before Trippier got out.
Yeah, of course.
Like they're on it.
Another relegation team winning. Watford winning away from home.
That was
Villa.
That was
1-0.
funny.
Like it's like relegation teams this weekend. I mean, Burnley won Brighton 3-0 away from home.
Yeah,
Let me tell you what happened.
So,
The gods are happy with Dennis. He had that meeting with.
Why? Hack you
That's
let him
it.
go.
That's it.
Hack tied his
Yeah,
boots somewhere. Hack tied his
Pinnick,
boots somewhere.
NFF president.
Oh.
Yeah.
but I
That's
mean,
it.
is he going to
That's
play
the
for
jazz.
Nigeria?
Who?
Dennis.
They said they've sorted it out.
Yeah, it's good.
So he's going to play. He's going to play Matt's Ghana game.
I don't know if they'll pick him, but it's like he's in the running. And then now we have another.
Is Osimhen back?
He's lifted.
Yes, Osimhen.
Osimhen
It's
back.
back.
Osimhen
Lukman.
We have Lukman has joined in now.
Yeah.
Nigeria is looking. We need to win Ghana, man. If we
Have
don't win
to.
Ghana, I'll be
But like I heard the
livid.
match is being rescheduled as they fixed the
It's supposed to be match on the 6th.
26th.
somewhere that they're trying to like might be a rescheduling thing.
And before I come back to this, okay, Liverpool 3-1. No, that was easy.
Expected.
Southampton, Everton.
Evil.
What's up with Everton? I thought they were on the come up.
No, it's
They played
Manager
Southampton now.
Ginger
Yeah,
Manager
but I'm just
Ginger
saying, like with
now.
They
the
played Southampton.
See, let me tell you, Van de
Is a
Beek had
form
a
team
great
now.
had a great game in because like he wasn't playing against a team that will close you down. If you play Southampton, man, like there's no time on the ball.
Yeah.
As in, like,
Yeah,
there's
this-
it doesn't matter what they do with the ball, but they'll get the ball off you almost every time. So if your passing is in tight, like
Before we talk about Lukaku's touches, let's talk about the Liverpool, the Man City Tottenham game. Did anyone? I didn't think Spurs would turn
stood a
up like
chance,
that. Like
to be
I
Spurs have always turned up against
no,
Man City.
because the last couple of games that they've been playing, I know that Conte would, because it's Conte, right? It's a big game. But then the last couple of games that they've lost, that they shouldn't have lost, and stuff like that, I thought, okay, City, because City played Sporting over the weekend, over the midweek, and
whitewash.
trashed them like 5-0. So,
reverse fixture.
You
What
get-
happened? Spurs won.
bro, like
Spurs won.
I think they've done a double.
Conte got his tactics.
Yeah,
right.
it's a 6 points.
Yeah, it was
And-
a
and-
very
and-
entertaining
and
game of
so
football.
sad, like they had scored, you get the ball, you just lose the ball, and then like but I respect Conte as well because you think like 2-2,
That was it.
close shop. But then if you watch what happened, it's like immediately that throw went in, like he was telling them.
But dude, you know what hurt me the most is that every time City equalized, the Spurs players didn't look like they were phased.
Nah,
like,
they
they
were
just wanted
okay,
to get
they
the
were
ball in the
okay,
center
yes.
of the pitch.
Son
and
was
go and attack.
closing on like
No,
they were
their
together.
tactics was pretty.
And then who's that new guy that they brought in the
Kulusevski.
Yeah.
bro?
Kulusevski and Bentancur, they had
From where that guy
perfect
was
games.
close, they were closing it.
Yeah, they had
What's going on
perfect
here?
Did he
games.
get them on loan?
Yes,
No. So Yes, both of them are loaned
to
to buy. Yes.
He
So
needs to
that's
sign
the
them.
And then, but then
Italian-
I need to talk about that because I think Glenn Hoddle was talking about this as well. That penalty, though, I know that a lot has changed in football, but if someone's going to fire football at you, right? I don't think it's unnatural for you to do this because that ball came to that guy's place, like. And then there's another match this week that they gave somebody.
Arsenal.
Was he against that?
Yeah.
He turned his back.
So-
It was like hit his hand.
Yeah.
So if you would give that, why wouldn't you give? So there's so much inconsistency
one
to
is
VAR.
not-
No, can,
we're not
but
getting-
also for Romero's one, just to add is that if you watch the thing about it, it's like there was Gundogan just right there. All he had to do was so part of what the thing is. It's not
That
just
ball was going to his face, right?
yes, but I'm saying
you
it's like
can't
if
do
he
this
if
to your
he
face.
didn't
You
the
reflex.
argument is if he didn't touch it, there's someone behind him, a City player who can tap it in. Do you know what I mean? If he did it,
Okay, so if he okay, so if he brought his hand down, that ball was still going to his face regardless. It's not like he was. So
not really. His
I
hands,
was,
his
I
hands,
was watching.
his hands
No, I was
was-
watching the football
his hands was
show
stretched.
just yesterday, and they were analyzing properly and asking the other ref, right? He was like, "Oh yeah, he should take the ball in his face because the ball was going directly to his face. The only reason why when it was going down, he did this. So the argument was,
You know which of his
Take,
hands?
take the ball in
Yeah.
his face,
Yes.
but we want safer football, right?
Exactly.
Everybody's
my point.
talking about health and safety.
No, so that guy
concussions.
on that football, he would always agree with the refs. But everybody kept saying you can't say this is an unnatural position if you're going to fire because that ball was going to hit him regardless of whatever part the ball was fired towards. Watch it again. Like he came down and then he did like this. He covered his face.
I think what it is now, what I've been finding more about this whole VAR is like, is the guy sitting on that chair that needs more training than this.
Yes.
Because like it all boils down to that guy's referral.
And every time they tell
Yeah,
the
yeah,
ref,
yeah. Yes.
no,
Yeah.
so
So
every
it's-
time they tell the ref, go and look at the monitor, 10 out of 10 times, once
Yeah.
they said go and look at the monitor, it's like almost like saying it is a penalty.
Yeah.
There's never
So
been a
that's what
time
I'm
where
saying. So
they
it
say,
boils
So when they
down-
don't,
Yeah, so for me,
we had this conversation on that.
yeah, there's
ART
never been a time where they tell the ref,
spaces where
go and look at it, and then the ref still says, I'm sticking with
the
my decision.
corruption does not need to be on the pitch. The corruption is in that 10 seconds where the guy in front of the monitor says, check it or don't check it. I
Yeah.
can decide, don't check it. Because
Yes.
if I don't say check it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's gone.
It's gone.
Right?
All right, let's talk about Lukaku before we run up, right? And the 7 touches. Is it that two things? Is it that Lukaku is so poor, or are the players are not giving him the ball?
I think
Or are they upset with him for that interview? Because there's no way you tell me, because that's the person in front, right? Yeah, that's the person you want to give the ball, right? Literally, everybody we
to
play football,
give the
right?
ball, yeah.
You want to play to give that guy. You're looking for the person in front, not. So how do you get in the whole of the game? He played 90 minutes, right? Do you know what 7 touches is for 90 minutes?
Henri said something, I think it was yesterday or the day before.
sorry, it's the boy now.
No matter the
No,
formation, that
I'm
they
just saying,
changed.
it's a smart question to ask,
Of
right?
course, of
Yes.
course.
What did they think when they were buying him? Funny enough, in the weeks when the league started, it looked like there was some thought behind getting him into the team.
Yeah.
Because the team played to not just his strengths, to his position, right? That has not happened in the last 2 months.
Yeah, since the interview, since the whole thing.
But then you have to question.
But then the reason why I think they bought him is going back to his game at Inter. He was literally doing what Kane was doing for Mourinho. He was holding the ball and then getting those guys to run in. So everybody thought it would be a case of he would hold the ball, get Pulisic or Mason Mount or whoever is running, or in this case the wing backs, James and Chilwell, right?
Chilwell, yeah.
But then I feel like it's unfair on him because since those guys injured,
Yeah, he's been struggling.
he's been struggling because
The style of play has had to change.
the style where he had been playing at City with Ashley Young and those wing backs he holds the ball, right, holding the defender and then looks for a runner. But then they haven't really had proper runners because Alonso is
but
not
even
doing
at-
exactly
but even-
what.
but even
So
at
you
that-
can't. I think to blame him for those 7 touches because as the creative guy, you're looking for
You
your
want to
striker,
get-
now, right?
But even more than that, it was not just about laying up balls for others at Inter, because I have a love for Inter as well. It was about the beautiful partnership that was developed between him and Lautaro,
Yeah,
right?
Martinez, yes.
So
He's not alone.
it wasn't.
You need someone closer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is that not why Mason Mount is supposed to be there? Like Mason Mount is
I
supposed to
think
be behind.
I think the Werner Lukaku partnership
Yeah.
is something that could be tested a little bit more. Even Havertz Lukaku.
yeah,
Yeah.
Havertz
It's
is
something
Better
that
when
would
there's
make
someone
sense.
really
Yes,
close to him. Because like his touches are in
So I don't think we should blame him though. I think
No,
we
it's a
should
combination.
blame
It's
the
a,
manager,
like it's a
though. Because
combination-
Havertz
it's
did
a
not play that
combination
game, right?
Yeah, well.
Yeah, he didn't have anybody close to him, like we're saying.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a Lukaku thing because if you gave him the ball, he would touch the ball.
But also as well, like,
Funny enough, there was one move. Sorry, there was one move. Who crossed the ball? There was a cross from the right. Lukaku won the header. All Pulisic needed to do was tap in the ball. Right? Those are the benefits of having a Lukaku.
Yeah.
And you're not maximizing it in the first place.
I think the manager
and that was
is
one of the
done
7
with
touches.
him, but he's just trying to
He can't
play.
do- no, because like
you
the
know,
manager
truth.
comes out and he said something that I found was really, I don't know how to take it. It says like Chelsea is a tough place for strikers, and he's trying to say like they've had like players like Shevchenko come in, they've had like big names. That
Yeah,
have
but they've
struggled.
also had Diego
Yeah,
Costa, they've had
Yeah,
Drogba.
but in terms of striking, it's like in the last since the Abramovich era, like a lot of the players that have really done it big for Chelsea have been players from the midfield, the Lampards. You've had players like Duff. You had like
Even for his type of football, it
yes,
would be very
yes.
difficult
To be honest,
to get strikers.
and also as well, it's like Chelsea has never been the club that plays for a striker. The only striker I've seen them really play for was Drogba.
Let's just run through. Okay, so quickly. Okay. So tonight we have Burnley Tottenham. That should be an interesting one. Predictions. Burnley Tottenham.
Burnley to win, man.
I can never be on air.
Burnley cannot win.
I can never be on air and say Tottenham win. Not possible. Burnley wins.
Hack. Tottenham, Burnley. Let's run quick. Time.
Burnley. I mean, I'm going to support the outcome.
An open game. Watford Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace. They need a win.
Crystal Palace.
They need a win.
Watford. I say Watford.
They need a win.
Liverpool Leeds.
Liverpool.
What's happening?
Liverpool Leeds. Yeah, and then tomorrow's game. Arsenal Wolves.
That's a draw.
Win.
It's a draw. Wolves will win.
Win. Well, winning.
Let's end the night with his prediction.
No. We have to win. If we lose that
No
game,
games in the weekend.
if we lose that game, there's the Carling Cup final.
Yeah,
I think there's some
yeah.
rescheduled games
There's
too.
some rescheduled games, but okay, games in the weekend. Okay, on Friday, Southampton
Carabao Cup.
Norwich.
Not
Yeah, Southampton Norwich. Real quick.
Southampton.
Southampton,
Leeds Tottenham. Leeds have tough fixtures.
That's what I'm saying. Let's have a couple.
Yeah, Leeds Tottenham.
Come
Leeds.
on, Tottenham.
Yeah,
Leeds.
Brentford Newcastle.
Oh, Newcastle all day.
I'll go with that.
Evan
Brighton
Toney can
Aston
go to
Villa.
wherever he wants to go.
Where is he? Isn't he played in a couple?
Brighton,
games?
Aston
Is he
Villa.
injured?
Brighton.
I want Aston Villa.
Crystal Palace Burnley.
Vieira has to win. Palace has to win.
United Watford. This will be interesting.
Now we need
Even
to
at
give them
the-
5
even that
because
the
they
beach
chopped
United-
us.
Give people's personality.
They allowed us, man.
Everton Man
But,
City.
but on the flip
Everton.
side, we're
Yeah.
grateful for them. They helped us.
Everton.
Everton will beat Man
Ever-
City.
Everton.
Oh, put camera on him, please.
Hot take now.
Yeah,
Everton will beat Man City.
Okay, and please, Hack,
Everton.
make sure this clip comes out.
We need
West
to
Ham Wolves.
Oh, that's
Whoa.
tough.
Man.
And I say Wolves will win though.
That's tough.
I want to draw,
Yeah,
man.
draw,
Because
man.
Wolves, the way it's looking now is like
Wolves will
if
win.
Wolves beat some of, because Wolves are playing a lot of people that are on that top 4 race with them.
Yep. If they pick any points
It's
from anybody,
scary.
yeah, they're in that.
And
they're
then
in that-
wanna have less
lastly,
people to deal with.
Burnley Leicester.
That's that.
Burnley.
And then who do you guys think would win the cup though? Liverpool City.
No, Liverpool.
Liverpool.
It'll be Chelsea,
Chelsea.
Liverpool.
Chelsea,
Chelsea,
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
It'll be embarrassing if Chelsea win Liverpool.
So your predictions. Let's close. No, let's start your prediction.
The Chelsea guy say well.
Time.
It's Chelsea.
Jackpot.
Liverpool.
Chelsea.
Liverpool.
Well, I said
How
Liverpool.
about you?
Liverpool. Who said, why do you open your eye? How about you? Alright, guys.
Top team.
Out of time.
I need to
This
fuck.
episode is sponsored by Accurate Design and Uche. #1 Xhaka fan. I feel like Xhaka should send him a shirt, a signed shirt. Thanks for coming. It was good
And
to
then
have you.
Pepe as well.
To be
man.
here.
Pepe needs to know that you're fighting.
Guys, we'll
scores.
see you guys next week.
He knows, I'm sure.